you guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm Mindy, this is See Mindy Mom, and today I'm going to give you an update on my progress working the WW plan, so stay tuned. Okay, you guys, it is a beautiful, gorgeous, sunny day. I brought the kids down to see the grandparents because we had a long weekend, and so I'm sitting in my van outside of my parents' house after coming home from getting my hair cut. Yay! Because this is the best, quietest place to film while I'm here. And I've got my sunglasses on because it's super bright, so sorry, not sorry. I don't have any makeup on, but really it's because it's bright, and I would be doing this the entire time I'm filming if I didn't have my sunglasses on. Ooh, they're dirty. I wanted to do a little experiment this week, and I wanted to experiment with tracking everything that I'm eating, which, yes, I know we're all supposed to do that. We're supposed to use our apps and track our food. But what I mean by that is tracking even the things that I had been using my Fitpoints for. If you follow my What I Eat in a Day videos, I have talked with you guys about how I trade some of my Fitpoints for foods that I think will help me prepare for or help me recover from workouts, namely healthy fats and full fat dairy. That's what I typically spend my Fitpoints for, and I allow myself to have one serving of each of those each day. I typically don't put them into my tracker. I just know in my head, okay, I've had some peanut butter and I've had some Siggy's yogurt. Those are my two, you know, Fitpoint fuel foods that I am eating today, and then I just don't track them. I track the rest of the stuff against my dailies and my weeklies. But this week I wanted to do a little experiment. I wanted to go ahead and track everything that I'm eating. You can actually set your tracker to swap Fitpoints. You can go into your settings, into food, into swapping, and then you can tell it not to swap Fitpoints, which is the default, or to swap weeklies and then Fitpoints, or Fitpoints and then weeklies. So I chose weeklies and then Fitpoints because I tend to use most of my weeklies up front, and then I would know that throughout the rest of the week, anytime I'm going over my dailies, it's going to take it from my Fitpoints. Now, just a little bit of by the numbers. I am in maintenance right now. I am at my goal weight. I'm slightly under my goal weight as of the last weigh-in. And I'm also in my recommended weight range for my height, which is 5'5". So about 3 years ago, I set out to lose some weight. I lost about 25 pounds over the last couple of years. I have been trying to maintain that. I've had a few seasons where I've had to jump back into weight loss mode because I gained some weight back. Maintenance is very difficult. If you are in that phase right now, do not be distressed. Do not be discouraged if you're having some trouble figuring it out. I think it's hard, and it's just a different mindset. Don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Keep going, but give yourself some grace whenever you're trying to figure out maintenance. Recycling truck. We have curbside recycling here. Anywho, here's some numbers for you just so you get an idea of where I'm coming from with this little experiment that I did this week. I'm working the purple plan. I get 16 daily smart points. I get 35 weekly smart points. According to my watch, which syncs with my Weight Watchers app, I earned 79 Fitpoints this week. I'm currently training for a half marathon, but that does not entail as much as you think, and I don't burn as many calories as you would think because I'm getting in better shape and my body works more efficiently in my workouts, and so I don't burn as many calories as I used to. But on Saturday, I did a 6-mile run. Sunday was a rest day. And Friday was a rest day too. And then on Monday, I did a 3.5-mile jog. On Tuesday, I did 30 minutes of cross training on the rower and the elliptical. On Wednesday, I went for a 40-minute walk. On Thursday, I did another 3.5-mile jog, and we're back to Friday, which is a rest day for me. And here are the points that I ate this week. On Friday, I ate 51 points. You heard that right. I used my weeklies and then some last Friday. It's when my week starts over, when my weeklies roll over, and when I tend to use a lot of them. On Saturday, I ate 22 points. On Sunday, I tracked 19 points. On Monday, I tracked 21 points. Tuesday, 19 points. Wednesday, 17 points. Thursday, 19 points. That brings us back to today, which is Friday, my weigh-in day. So I ate 168 points total. That means I used all of my daily points, I used all of my weekly points, and I dipped into my Fitpoints by 21 points. I needed 21 Fitpoints to cover my week. Now, last week, I weighed in and saw a fairly big loss for me. It was minus 1.8. That was really 2 weeks worth of weight loss, I guess, because it had been 2 weeks since I had weighed in. And my total monthly weight loss last month was 2.2 pounds, which I thought was pretty significant considering the fact that I'm in my recommended weight range, and even losing 1 pound a month is kind of what I'm happy with at this point and what I would expect, or even a maintenance. So I was not expecting to see a loss this week. I was expecting to see a maintenance or even a small gain, given that I had, you know, a pretty significant loss for being in maintenance last month. So imagine my surprise whenever I stepped on the scale today, and this is what I saw. 143.8, that is -1 pound. Now, again, I just gave you the points that I ate. I was over my daily points every day. I used all of my weeklies and even some of my Fitpoints, and I still lost weight on the scale. And that's actually just a little bit alarming to me, which I know that's so annoying. I know that's so annoying whenever people are like, I don't know why I'm losing weight, and weight keeps falling off of me. I mean, I know, I just want to like, I just want to say, bless your heart to those people. I know, I get it. I'm not trying to be that person. I'm happy to see the scale go down, but I'm really at the point where the scale needs to go down very, very, very little at a time. And the reason for that is because I do not want my body to lower my metabolism. I know that I mention this occasionally on my channel. I get a lot of questions about it. I did a video about it last September about how I feel like I did some work trying to fix my metabolism, which I believe was adapted and had adapted to a lower metabolic rate after years and years of yo-yo dieting. If you don't know what adaptive metabolism or metabolic adaptation is, you can look that up on YouTube. Now, let me be very clear. I do not believe that there are any foods or pills or teas or certain times of day or certain combinations of food or any magic whatsoever that will manipulate our metabolism. Like I'm not into that kind of voodoo stuff. Sorry, I'm just not into it. But I do believe that our bodies are made to keep us alive, and I feel like I have experienced metabolic adaptation in that when I took in less food and restricted my food over a long period of time, my body adapted to that restriction and it learned to do the same stuff with less food coming in. In other words, it became more efficient with the calories and with the food that I was taking in, and so it wasn't letting go of weight. So about a year ago, I took a break from dieting. I did a lot of research into metabolic adaptation. I started plugging my statistics into different calorie calculators, my height, my weight, my age, my activity level, and I was getting a number somewhere between 1,850 and 2,200, 2,150 calories a day that somebody like me should be able to take in and not gain weight. And yet I knew that if I took in that amount of calories, that I would gain weight. So what did I do about it? I gained weight, and I think that's not an answer that a lot of people want to hear, but it has been almost a year since I took a break from dieting, did some research into metabolic adaptation, really looked at what calorically my body should be able to do for me, and started to work on it. And the way that I worked on it is I ate more. I accepted a small weight gain, a little bit of a rebound in my weight, and I also accepted that it would take me a while to get that weight back off. Now, I didn't do myself any favors, because after that initial rebound of about 5 pounds or so, and I was ready to start chipping away at that weight I had gained, now with a better metabolism in place, I had surgery and I had kind of a stressful summer, and I put on a little bit more weight, and by the end of the summer, I was really about 10 pounds up on the scale. And that's when I started to get serious about chipping away at the weight. But this time around, I did not take drastic measures. I did not say, well, I'm going to eat as little as possible. I'm going to eat as few points as possible. I'm going to roll over all my points, as many points as I can every day, and so that I can lose weight as fast as I possibly could. I did not take that route this time. I took the slow approach. I took the long road. I said, I will be happy with a 0.4 loss. I will be happy with losing just a pound a month, especially if it means that I get to eat more in the process, and that once I arrive at my goal weight again, I will be able to eat more. And I believe I have accomplished that. I mean, I just told you how many points I ate this week, and I still managed to lose a little bit of weight, even though I was eating over my points, used all of my weeklies, dipped into my Fitpoints for the week. Now, you guys, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts and opinions about this based on my own experiences. You, of course, are capable of doing your own research. I just get a lot of questions about how in the world can you eat so much and still lose weight? I mean, in a nice way. People are nice. And when I talk about eating more so that my metabolism stays high, I get a lot of questions too. You know, how did you fix your metabolism? And that's basically what I did, you guys. I did some research and then I started to eat a little more. I accepted a bit of a weight gain, and then I accepted that it would take me a while to get the weight back off. But now it's been almost a year since I did that, and I gotta say, I'm glad that I did. If I can have the week that I just have of eating and feeling very in control, it's not like I was out of control and binging on things. I felt like I was still making healthy choices and eating good foods for my body, along with some splurges and things that I wanted. If I can do that and still see the scale, you know, stay level or even dip a little bit, then, you know, I think that it's working for me. So I do see a lot of people who are really scared to use their weeklies or scared to use their Fitpoints, or feel like if I eat over my dailies, I gain weight. And what do I do? You know, I get those kinds of questions or those kinds of comments. And again, not an expert. Talk with your WW leader, talk with your coach, talk with your, you know, if you're working with a nutritionist or with a doctor or something, if you're worried about that. But my advice is, first off, if you're just starting out, especially when you're just starting out and your metabolism is working in your favor, eat your points. Okay. You will thank yourself for eating as many points as you can. Because yes, if you restrict a bunch in the beginning and you don't use those weekly points that Weight Watchers gives you, you might see the scale drop pretty quickly, but eventually it's going to level out. Okay. It's going to level out, and you're going to be frustrated that it's not dipping, and you're going to have nowhere else to go as far as creating more of a deficit, because you've already created a pretty big one. You know what I mean? So if you're just starting out, I feel like Weight Watchers gives us those points to use. So if you can eat your weekly points at least and your daily points and still lose weight, even if it's a smaller amount of weight than it would be if you were not eating your weekly points, I suggest doing that. Eat your points. Secondly, I feel like if you're really, really worried about gaining a bunch of weight or gaining a bunch of weight back, but you do want to try to experiment with whether or not your body will learn to eat more again and learn to be less efficient with your calories, there is a concept called reverse dieting, and you can go and look that up. And this is just a suggestion, but maybe instead of, okay, I'm going to go from eating none of my weeklies to eating all of my weeklies, what if you try just eating one more point per day? So if you're on the blue plan and you get 23 points a day, maybe make your daily target 24 points a day. So you're using one of those weeklies each day, or 7 per week, or something like that, so that you don't have to jump up to using all of them and feel like you're automatically going to, you know, put on a whole bunch of weight. And maybe, you know, gradually over the course of several weeks, you could allow your body to adjust to those extra few points, and then you can play around with adding a few more points. This is a technique that I read about and saw whenever I was doing research on YouTube into metabolic adaptation, that sometimes helps people kind of rev up their metabolism again, but sort of minimize or avoid altogether any weight gain during that process. I just decided to jump right in, to eat what I thought my body should be able to eat, you know, within reason. I didn't like stuff myself. I wasn't eating when I wasn't hungry. I just tried to feed my body an appropriate amount of food according to my size. But some people, you know, just do the increase gradually instead of jumping into it like I did. But that's just a suggestion. Again, not an expert. Please don't treat this as expert advice. It is just an opinion. And I'm just trying to get that information out there because I get a lot of questions about that. But that's what I did, you know, short story. And if you are wanting to eat some more points, Maybe you can start out slowly adding those weeklies back in if you haven't been eating them, and the scale might go up for a week or two. Maybe it will show a little bit of a gain for a week or two. Give it a little time to calm down. You know, you can always go back to what you were doing before, but it does take time. Like I said, it's been a year since I really have started going down that path of trying to eat more and making my deficits for weight loss much, much, much less. I feel like that I did not explain that very well, so I'm so sorry. I'm kind of rambling, but I did the best I could. If you want me to make, you know, a more in-depth video about this, let me know in the comments. I'll try to do the best I can to explain it. Like I said, just being, you know, a regular person and not a scientist, and just trying to impart upon you the research and the information that I've come upon and how I have interpreted that. So as always, thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll be sure to check in with you guys again with more videos, more what I eat videos, and more meal plan videos, and just chatty videos. I've got lots of ideas for different topics I want to talk about coming up. So thanks so much, and I'll check in again very soon.